Yeah, so I came from Japan, so I'm not familiar with Southeast Asia's performance art situation. But I just talk about Japanese performing arts situation, a bit different performance arts. Because also I think so. You already talked about the NIPAF. Yeah, and NIPAF is the most important performance arts organization from 1980s. But also, yeah, my main field are performing arts, and I hope so. Two genres, performing arts and performance arts, is more connect each other to make a new situation. And I think in the 1980s in Japan, the situation paired. So, like so Shimoda Seijo, so today, so this Asiatopia also invited Mr. Arai, and Arai is also connect to like a Japanese Buto or so fine arts or some areas, and okay, oops. So I talk about so very short performing arts work today, and this work is typically Japanese. So the type of work is connect to intervene in the social situation. Yeah. So. The artist name is Akira Takayama. The unit group name is Port B. So the work so describes the Fukushima's. So this so in 2011, Fukushima nuclear plant had occurred terrible situation, and so the work describe so the situation, and it's a kind of a so performing arts. And so the earthquake caused the Fukushima nuclear plant disaster, spreading radiation outside the plant. After that, the anti-nuclear plant movement appeared with a spontaneous gathering of the people, like the 1960s. New student movement, and so the situation gradually changed the people's mind. And so the work represents the situation. It's not. Oh yeah. Please read these subtitles. Oh, so the type of work, the performing arts work is on outside. At the opening, so audience was gathered around the building near the Shimbashi Station, which is a famous business section of Tokyo, and where there are many bars for Japanese businessmen. Audience was given a portable radio and a postcard map to tour the area alone. On her way to the first designated plane on the map, the audience member may have noticed that she is retracing the route of the anti-nuclear demonstration. The first designated place was the main building of the Tokyo Electric Company. Yeah, it's the building is a Tokyo Electric Company, and The audience is asked to listen to Elfriede Elinek, who is a German Nobel Prize writer. And so they listen to the Elinek's text on the portable radio, read by a Fukushima high school student. After that, the audience visit over 10 other spots, such as a room in a small building, other spaces that everyone might overlook, and an empty space between buildings. Installations were placed in their space that evoked Fukushima nuclear plant. The motive of the installation was radiation evacuation. The radiation suits, keep out signs, etc. The audience listened to Elinek's text from the radio and viewing instruction at each place. The voice reads the text like pronouncement with heavy and overwhelming amount of words. The text created the impression that remains in the audience mind. Usually, many people think that Elinek's text is complex and difficult. In this case also, audience probably couldn't understand the text many points by just listening it once. Although the text was directly inspired by the Fukushima's nuclear disaster. However overwhelming, the text included concrete words like light, water, ground, and sounds that directly resonated with the installation materials in the audience mind. The installation and the text evokes the scene of Fukushima nuclear disaster in the audience mind. How was Symbas's building light, neon sign, and the bright light of the city made? All the light was from the nuclear plant, and recognizing this, the audience has to ask him herself whether they have ever considered the fear of explanation and burning. As a final, it keeps some instruction, but I know I don't have much time, so that I talk about the final point. At the final point, aerial photo of skying above Fukushima and the point between Fukushima and Tokyo were affixed on the postcard. These photos clearly indicate the lack of border lines, that the concept like a prefecture border was meaningless. The first scene of Tokyo's building and sky connected with the last scene. The sky extends beyond prefecture lines and a national border. At least, this work wanted to go beyond the domestic limit of the nuclear plant problem. The audience listened to Elinek's text and viewed the installation seriously. However, the daily reality of Shimbashi, crowded with commuters and a drunk bar, and provided the counterpoint to the piece. Since the 1960s, the city has changed completely. There is no longer the tension in the atmosphere that pervaded the street in the 60s. While the audience obtained the perspective on the nuclear problem from Shimba's scenery, the passers-by looked on at the strange behavior of the people listening to the radio and looking at the postcard. The audience was inserted into the daily scenery of the city as alien element. Just the anti-nuclear demonstration was a strange sight for the people going about their daily life. Their interventions that probably the English title is No Light, make on the daily of the city may not be very radical, but it's at least work to change the audience consciousness about the nuclear issue. Yeah, my speech paper is finished, and but so the video a bit long, about 5 minutes needed to the finish point.
You can make it about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, yeah, I cut the some scene, and yeah, this is also Simba's scenery, so probably make a building, but the photo is Fukushima, so covers the radiation, the ground. So yeah, finally I talked about the typical artworks in Japan, especially the young generation. Yeah, 1968 generation is highly connected to intervene the social situation, but the young generation is different. Just gradually change to gradually to intervene to the social situation. I think it's a different type, but it's the base is common to think or to change the society. Yeah, that's finished.